Trojan Sports Now.
Hello and welcome to Trojan Sports Now. I'm Danielle Percival.
And I'm Jonathan Sellers. Stick around as we bring you the latest news and scores from Troy Sports. Well, so far this season, the Troy baseball team had yet to capture a series win in the Sun Belt schedule. Well, with the team picked at the top of the preseason polls, the struggles had been a surprise to most. But the Trojans had another chance to snap that streak over the weekend against Middle Tennessee. Taylor Burke fills us in.
In the middle of a 5-game conference losing streak, the Troy baseball team had the number 2 team in the Sun Belt, the Middle Tennessee State Blue Raiders, to contend with. On Friday night, the Blue Raiders showed the Trojans why they are one of the best teams in the conference, pounding out 21 hits and scoring 12 runs. Troy scored 6 runs in the final 2 innings of the game, but the Trojan rally fell just short. Middle Tennessee took Game 1, 12-10.
Everything that Tyler threw, they seemed to get off the barrel. They got off to a very good start, never slowed down.
When someone puts together a 21-hit game, you're pretty much going to lose those most of the time. But we gave them a run for their money and made the game close. So you got to tip your hats for that.
Troy returned to its winning ways on Saturday, thanks in part to starting pitcher Joe Hernandez. Hernandez threw 6 innings, giving up 2 unearned runs on 5 hits, while striking out 8 Blue Raiders. Troy picks up the Game 2 win, 6-2.
I knew once I stepped on the mound, that I just had to go out there and compete. I had to go out there with my best stuff and just give our team a chance to win the game.
Joe, you got to tip your hat. He came out and was lights out. I mean, he's got good stuff. I mean, he commands his fastball. He throws a slider for it. But, I mean, his command was excellent.
On Championship Sunday, the Trojans were in championship form. Troy put up 4 hits and 5 runs on Blue Raiders starting pitcher Jonathan Sisko, who had the lowest ERA in the Sun Belt at 1.76. DH Jacob Nixon accounted for 3 hits, 2 runs, and 4 RBI to help lead Troy to a series win, 10-3.
Nixon had a great game at the top of the order. Drove in 4, got some big hits for us during the game, had some quality at-bats.
It's definitely a good thing. I mean, to get back-to-back wins, we've kind of struggled throughout the season to put them back together. We came out, pre-game was good. We were flying around the field, hitting balls, and carried it over into the game. I mean, it feels really good.
Taylor Burke, Trojan Sports Now.
After their first conference series win of the year, 2 Trojans were honored by the Sun Belt as Players of the Week. Joe Hernandez was named Pitcher of the Week after his Saturday start against the Blue Raiders. The junior threw 6 1/3, giving up 5 hits, striking out 8 with no walks. Danny Collins was named Player of the Week after going 7 of 16 last week with a double, a triple, 2 home runs, and 9 runs batted in. Collins and the Trojans had a chance to do more damage Tuesday as they headed to the Plains to take on the Auburn Tigers. But the Trojans' winning streak was stopped at 2 as they fell to the Tigers 7-4. The Trojans rallied late from a 7-2 deficit to bring the score within 3, but they got no closer as Auburn held on for the victory.
The Trojan softball team was successful in conference play as well this past weekend, picking up their second Sun Belt series of the season. The Trojans opened on Saturday with a close win over the Owls 5-4, and that was the 3rd straight game they managed 10 hits. Ashley Rainey got the win in Game 1 despite walking 5 players and allowing 4 runs on 7 hits. In Game 2, the Trojans were not as successful, falling 6-2. JC Affelt was tagged with the loss after only giving up 2 earned runs and was the victim of 2 untimely errors. Hayden Gann had 2 RBI in the second game and 4 hits on the day. And the Trojans were defeated Florida Atlantic 5-1 on Sunday to wrap up the Florida road trip. Hannah Wren and Nikki Hollett each had 2 out, 2 RBI triples in the game. Troy picked up 11 hits as a team, while Ashley Rainey struck out 7 with no walks, giving up 5 hits to the Owls in her 15th complete game of the season. Wren, Hollett, and Michelle Hewitt all had 2 hits for the Trojans.
After 2 rounds of the Women's Sun Belt Championship, the Troy golf team sits in 9th at 50 over par. The Trojans have 3 players in the top 30 at the Robert Trent Jones course in Muscle Shoals and sit 6 shots behind 8th place and 8 shots from 6th overall. We will have the final results next week on Trojan Sports Now. But also this past weekend, the Troy men's golf team finished 8th in the Wolfpack Spring Open, with Will Cloudis finishing 16th for Troy.
The Trojan men's tennis team finished their regular season Saturday against 54th-ranked Georgia State. The Trojans fell 6-1 to the Panthers at the Lunsford Tennis Complex. Sammy Gorbell picked up the lone singles victory for the Trojans with 2 close finishes, winning by a single point each time. They finished the season 5-17, but the women ended their year at 10-9. They closed out their schedule Sunday against North Texas at home on Senior Day. In Gabrielle Vieja and Olfa Dow's final match at home, the Trojans put up a fight, but the Mean Green, ranked 67th in the nation, left the court with a 7-0 victory.
Track and field team continued to move up the conference standings with some first-place finishes at the USA Invite in Mobile. Martin Pildovs continued to improve his NCAA mark with first-place throw in the javelin. In the hammer, Nicola Bola placed in first with a throw of 60.54 meters. Larry Henry captured the triple jump and high jump, while Thaddeus Curtis won both the 400-meter hurdles and 110-meter hurdles. Erin Walker was the star on the women's side with the discus throw, moving her way into second in the Sun Belt standings.
Troy University announced last week the hiring of the new women's basketball coach. Shonda Rigby was on campus Friday getting familiar with her new home. Rigby has over 20 years of coaching experience, but this will be her first chance at the Division I level. She has, however, had success at getting her student athletes at Pensacola State College to the Division I level. In the past 5 years, 100% of her players at PSC have graduated and moved on to play D1 ball. Rigby says she's excited about the future, and there was no question Troy was the right place for her.
First of all, it's a great fit for my family, and also the administration here, they want what I want, which is to put a fantastic product in that new arena next year, and my overall and ultimate goal is to have the women's basketball team be a proper reflection of the institution it reflects, and so that it represents. So, I mean, Troy's a great forward-thinking university, and that's what I want the basketball team to be.
In last year's Tennessee Martin Rodeo, the Trojan Spurs claimed the top spots in the men's and women's sides. This year's rodeo was a different story, with the men finishing fourth and the women not having enough riders to earn points. Nelson Wyatt and Lane Taylor had a third-place finish in the team roping for the Trojans. Well, still to come on Trojan Sports Now, we'll have a look ahead at all the upcoming action in Trojan Sports.
But first, we'll take a look back at last season's football team and where the team stands after having been through spring practice. That and more is ahead on Trojan Sports Now.
Trojan Sports Now.